Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name Aldafi Muhammad Iqbal from kelas D4 SKL 3D, absen 01, NIM 184114150113. I can presentation about 150 cafe tower equipment and accessories for suspension type AA with 2 circuit line. Number 1, transmission tower. The most obvious and visible tower type are 1, lattice structure, 2, tubular pole structure. Lattice tower in here can produce 1100 kV and below. Power tower 3000 kW and below. Wind power tower steel structure factory, various type of photovoltaic brackets. Next. And then tubular pole structure. This is tubular pole structure. Traditional self-supporting lattice structure are used for electricity transmission. And tower, you will find mostly the use of self-supporting type lattice structure for transmission line. In most of the power companies, the lattice structure can be erected easily and very inaccessible, effective. The main disadvantage of lattice structure is that it requires more raw right-of-way. Right-of-way is the stretch of land acquired along the lines of land, keeping the tower in middle of row. In sketch of a single circuit lattice tower, two number of ground. The number of ground conductor are used. That is the shield angle. Variability protection the conductor from lightning. Lightning this angle should be less than 30 degrees. In the FIGA, the fast conductor use the bandlet type. In many cases, due to public resentment, the use of lattice structure has been restricted, so alternative transmission structure are adopted by some power companies. Still tubular pole structure have been used quite successfully by some power companies for high and extra high tension transmission lines. The installation of this structure are costly, but requires less time. See the sketch of tubular steel pole structure. The tubular structure can be a single tubular from or from or from like lattice tower. It can also be designed for carrying two or more, considering the use of this type of tower, especially in populated areas. Next, this transmission tower type based on function. In here, according to different consideration, there are different types of transmission tower. The transmission line goes as per available corridors due to an unavailability of shortest distance track. Corridor transmission line has to divide from its trackway when ups when up obstruction comes. In total length of along transmission line, there may be several definition points. According to the angle of definition, there are four types of transmission tower. The first type of tower is type AA, which function as a suspension tower. Suspension tower with a definition angle of 0 degrees to 3 degrees. The second type is the BB, which function as a tension tower or section tower with a definition angle of 3 degrees, angle of 3 degrees to 20 degrees. The third type is the third type is the type CC, CC, DD, EE, FF. This function as a tension tower with a definition angle of 20 degrees to less than 90 degrees. The 40 type, the fourth type is type GG, EG, GG with a function as a transposition tower. Next, suspension tower. The suspension tower is in a straight line of the transmission line with a maximum angle of 5 degrees. What we will run today refers more to the suspension tower. The suspension tower are on the way of straight line of transmission line with maximum angle 5 degrees. The high voltage suspension tower are designed to carry the only weight of the conductor in straight line position. Most of towers in any transmission line is fall into this type of tower category, and construction costs of suspension type transmission line are much cheaper compared to other types of transmission line. This type of tower are used on the lines for straight run or for small angle of deviation 2 degrees sampai 2 degrees uh, sampai 5 degrees. Conductor suspension tower may be supported by means of I string, phase string, or combination of I and phase string. Next part of transmission tower. Power transmission tower consists of the following parts. Point 1, peak of transmission tower. Point 2, cross arm of transmission tower. Point 3, boom of transmission tower. Cake of transmission tower body, back of transmission tower, and stop or anchor and base plate assembly of transmission tower. Next, this peak of transmission tower. The position above the top cross arm is called peak of transmission tower, generally a cell wire connected to the tip of this peak. Next, this cross arm of transmission tower called the transmission conductor. The dimension of cross arm depend of the level of transmission voltage, configuration, and minimum forming angle for stress distribution. Next, gauge of transmission tower. The portion between tower body and peak is known as cake of transmission tower. This portion of the tower called the cross arm. Next, transmission tower body. The portion from bottom cross arm up to the ground level is called transmission tower body. This portion of the tower plays a vital role for maintaining accurate ground clearance of the bottom conductor of the transmission line. Next, insulators. According to its function, a good insulator must meet the properties of electrical characteristic and mechanical characteristic. Next is a pin insulator. Pin insulator is widely used for overhead high voltage power transmission lines, and this type of insulator much popular in uh, 30 33 kV distribution line. Pin insulators are mainly classified into two according to their manufacture materials. Most of pin insulator manufactured by use of glass and porcelain materials. Next, this suspension insulator. Suspension insulator are the most commonly used insulator type in high voltage transmission application with normal voltage rating of suspension insulator are 11 kV, and by number of these can be adjusted for relevant transmission line voltage. About electrical characteristic in here, the insulator has a lightning impulse voltage and working voltage minimum breakdown voltage according to the working voltage and is an insulation material flanked by a metal. So in this capacitor, this capacitance is magnified by pollutants as well as the air humidity on its surface. If the isolation value decrease as a result of the pollutant or damage to the insulator, there will be an insulator failure which may eventually lead to interference. Number two, mechanical characteristic. This is the insulator shall have a mechanical strength to bear the loading load of the conductor as well as the heavy load of the insulator and conductor. Insulator design varies according to tower function, and for suspension towers, line of conductor is straight. The insulator assembly is called a suspension string. This function insulator about serve to isolate the part that is in tension with the non-voltage part, but during normal continuous operation and during the surge, including lightning inside the transmission line. According to this function, a good insulator must meet the properties of electrical characteristic, mechanical characteristic. Next, stand insulator. Stand insulator are widely used where the tension load of conductor is higher. The most important factor of strain insulator is the mechanical strength. Stay insulator and cycle insulator are part of strain insulator, and this type of insulator widely used where high mechanical strength is necessary in low voltage application. Next, this transmission tower protection. Point 1, ground steel wire, SW jumper, arching horn, elevation conductors, spacer, armor rod, counterweight, vibration damper, security foam seat, or many protection. So many many presentation for me. Uh, I'm sorry, but wrong in the word or less clear in the material. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.